It's the last 2 weeks of the NFL season, and this week's games are gonna move the standings. Let's check it out. Do you think that the Dolphins are gonna win the AFC East? Let's talk about it. The Jets and the Patriots are eliminated. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Looking at you, Patriots. But let's talk about the relevant teams. The Buffalo Bills are 9-6, and the Miami Dolphins are 11-4. It's pretty simple. If the Bills win out, they win the division. If Miami wins a game, they win the division. But let's see who they play. Starting with the Buffalo Bills, they play the New England Patriots and, oh, look at that, the Miami Dolphins. Well, that should be interesting. Let's look at who Miami plays. Yikes! The Baltimore Ravens followed up by the Buffalo Bills. Let's say they lose this week against the Ravens. They are underdogs by 3.5. Then the division comes down to next week. Bills versus Dolphins. That will be must-see TV. Can the Dolphins win this week and nip that narrative in the bud? We'll see. Stay tuned. Let's check out the AFC North. This is one of the best divisions in the league. Not gonna lie, low-key kind of surprised about that. The Ravens are 12-3. The Cleveland Browns, on their 4th quarterback, Joe Flacco, are 11-5, and they have clinched a playoff spot. Brava, brava. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati are still alive for a wild card spot. This division, all around, impressive. But will the Baltimore Ravens win the division? Most likely. But there is a slight chance that the Cleveland Browns swoop in and take it away. Let's check it out. So we're looking up here. Browns already beat the Jets, so all they need to do is beat the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati. That defense should be able to take care of business. Let's see what Baltimore has coming up. Baltimore faces the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Dolphins are a good team. There's a chance they could lose that game. Not saying it's gonna happen, but 3.5-point favorites. It's not a 10-point spread. They should be in this. This could get interesting. The Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens is always a close matchup. This one should be very interesting. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be fighting tooth and nail to take down those Ravens. I mean, all I'm saying is, so you're saying there's a chance. This is really big for the Ravens. They can either be the #1 seed and get a bye plus home field throughout the playoffs, or they can be the 5th seed and be on the road the entire playoffs and not have a bye. Ravens need to take care of business and win at least one of these next 2. They should, but there's a chance. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals have not been eliminated. I'll dive deeper into the Cincinnati Bengals and the Steelers a little bit later. Let's keep it moving. The AFC South has been crazy this year. We got a 3-way tie at the top of the division. Who's gonna take this one home? Only one team's been eliminated, the Tennessee Titans. Get them out of here. On their backup quarterback, Will Levis, letting the rookie play. He can sling it once every 4 or 5 games. This year has been crazy for the AFC South. Ryan Tannehill goes down. Will Levis is starting. CJ Stroud came out looking like a superstar. And Anthony Richardson was great for fantasy until he got injured. Then we got injuries with Trevor Lawrence in and out of the lineup. Don't think he's playing this week. So who wins the AFC South? The Jaguars had the tiebreaker over the Colts and the Texans. So they just gotta win out. But Trevor Lawrence banged up, using a backup. Let's see what games they got coming up. These games are definitely winnable. Carolina Panthers, Tennessee Titans. Neither team are playing for anything, but the Titans may just want to spoil your year because you're division rivals, and that's what division rivals do. Last 2 games for the Colts. We got the Las Vegas Raiders and the Houston Texans. That could be interesting. And the Texans play the Titans and the Colts. If the Jaguars end up messing around and losing a game, this could get interesting for the end of the season. Stay tuned. Is Kansas City in danger of losing the AFC West? Kinda, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Kansas City's 9-6, followed by the Las Vegas Raiders at 7-8. The Denver Broncos at 7-8, and the LA Chargers eliminated at 5-10. All that talent, no production. Yikes. Kansas City has not looked good in a while. Everyone's saying they don't have receivers. And though that might be true, can my man Rashee Rice get a little bit of love? Just a little bit. He's been doing alright for a rookie. Now, Kansas City. I'll get into what the GM should and should not have done coming into this year later. But for right now, you only got the people on your team. Travis Kelce, how about you also catch the ball, buddy? You're one of the best tight ends of all time. Can't be dropping balls in the end zone, my man. You better than that. Also, throwing your helmet. What is this? 2 out of the last 3 weeks, one of y'all are throwing your helmet because you're frustrated. Then you get to the media and you're like, those darn media people. And I'm like, yo, homie, can your players catch the ball? You're upset at the wrong person. But I get it. Team sport, you gotta have your teammates back. Behind closed doors, I hope y'all are ripping these fools. Because Eric Bieniemy, from what my understanding, was a great motivator. And by motivator, I mean he probably got underneath these wide receivers' skin and made sure they were going to be ready for game day. Don't seem like they're ready for game day. I digress. I could talk for hours about the Kansas City Chiefs and what they are and are not doing. I personally still believe in them. Am I biased? Yeah. Do I have Patrick Mahomes on my dynasty team for the first time and this is the first year he's not playing well? Yes. I still believe. Chiefs Kingdom, I see you. Do I think they win this division? Yeah, mainly because they got some solid matchups coming up that they should be able to take out. Looking up here, last 2 matchups, Cincinnati Bengals without Joe Burrow and the LA Chargers without Justin Herbert. Chiefs, don't mess around. Y'all better win this next game. Nick Wright is right. Y'all need an early bye. Sit your players next week or rest up who needs to rest up because clearly y'all are not clicking at 100%. Go ahead and win this game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Y'all are 7.5-point favorites. Knock it out. Win the division. I am really pleased to see what the Raiders have done. It's been actually pretty awesome. Getting behind their new coach because their last coach was trash. Unlike the Denver Broncos, who have just been disappointing. The disrespect. Let's talk about the Broncos for a second. The disrespect that is going on for Russell Wilson. Coming to that man, asking him to restructure his contract? Nah, not gonna be able to do it. For those of you living under a rock, the Denver Broncos asked Russell Wilson to take out a clause in his contract that would basically guarantee him $30+ million in 2025, or if he was injured. They don't want to risk him getting injured, so they benched him. But they told him they were gonna bench him weeks ago. Then they started winning games, and they still wanted that clause out of the contract. Russell Wilson, rightfully so, didn't take the clause out of his contract because this is what we negotiated. So now they benched him. What they're gonna do now, I don't know. They're still gonna have to eat millions of dollars. I'm pretty sure the contract next year is guaranteed $34 million. This Russell Wilson situation is kind of wild. They're technically not eliminated from the playoffs, but they're benching their starter. Let's talk about why. Last year, Russell Wilson signed a 5-year, $242 million contract. $160 million of that was guaranteed, and $124 was guaranteed at signing. As y'all know, last year did not go well, but his contract is backloaded. He was only $17 million cap hit last year. That ballooned up to 22, and then it just goes up from here. 2024, $35 million. 2025, $55 million cap hit. That is wild. And it's tough to get rid of him because the dead cap for next year is $85 million. Then after that, it's $50 million. But this is the situation we're in. They just came out and said that Russell Wilson was gonna get benched for the last 2 games. Well, next season, Russell Wilson is guaranteed $39 million. But he can get another $37 million in 2025 that locks on March 15th. Will they be able to find a trade for him? Yeesh. He's been okay, I guess. He's really not been good, but he hasn't been complete hot garbage. All I know is this is a bad situation, and the Broncos are gonna have to pay an arm and a leg to fix it. Oh well, not my problem. Moving on. Who do you think wins the NFC East? The Eagles or the Cowboys? Obviously, it's not gonna be the Giants or the Commanders because they're both eliminated. But back to the relevant teams, this could get interesting. Dallas Cowboys are down by 1, but they each have 2 games left. One's playing tonight. Let's see if we can predict who's gonna win it. The Cowboys play their toughest matchup tonight versus the Detroit Lions. This game is winnable. They are 6.5-point favorites in it. That's a big spread. I'm kind of surprised. But hey, that's Vegas. If they win this and they beat Washington, then it would come down to tiebreakers. But do we really think it's gonna get that far? Let's see who the Eagles play. The Eagles play the Arizona Cardinals and the New York Giants. This better not come down to the wire. Eagles, take care of business. Y'all play the Cardinals and the Giants. I'm moving on. Y'all, the Detroit Lions won the NFC North for the first time in 30 years. Let's go! And it wasn't even close. They smacked up the division. They beat them by a landslide. 11-4. Closest record is 7-8. I just want to take a second. My late great-grandfather was a big Detroit Lions fan. He would be excited. The last time the Detroit Lions won the division was 1993. That was 30 years ago. I was 3. Wild. They've only won one playoff game since 1957. Is this the year they make it to? I hope so. Detroit Lions, I am really rooting for you. Make the city proud. Also, shout out to my boy Mikey, lifelong Detroit Lions fan. It's been rough, but he gets to celebrate this day. Cheers. Technically, the Vikings, Packers, and Bears are not eliminated. They need a little bit of help, but they can get this done. This could get interesting. Stay tuned. Then, of course, you have the NFC South. Will my Tampa Bay Buccaneers take down the NFC South? We could do it this week. We got a game, Bucs versus Saints. If the Bucs win it, we win the division. Let's go! Saints are missing Marshawn Lattimore, so I think we got a solid shot. But Atlanta and New Orleans are not going out quietly. And the Carolina Panthers suck. They're tanking for next year. Oh wait. They don't have their pick next year because they traded it to the Bears. Tisk. What a bad trade. Hope Bryce Young has a better year. Anywho, I am invested in this weekend's matchup because obviously I'm a Bucs fan, but it's going to be a nail biter. Let's see if the Bucs can take them down. They're still an out even if the Bucs lose that we can win the division, but we got to win one of the next two. I'm pretty sure the last game is against the Carolina Panthers, which if we lose that, we don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Yeah, the Bucs got to win one of the next two. We should be fine. I would prefer if we knocked it out this week, though. Come on now. We're going to take out the New Orleans Saints. I don't like that 3.5 point spread. I think that's too many points, though. We'll get into that and pick them later. San Francisco locked up the NFC West division, but the Rams and the Seahawks are not out of this. They still got a shot to make the playoffs. 8-7 is not the worst record for the NFC. And of course, the Arizona Cardinals are playing for next year. The 49ers are clearly the best team in this division. They might be the best team in the conference. But after that, whooping towards Baltimore, oof, I hate to play these 49ers next. Who do they play? Washington? That's going to be a beatdown. Now that we've broken down each division, let's see who's been eliminated, who's on the bubble, who's in the hunt, who's already in the playoffs, baby. Let's get it started. The AFC is on the left. The NFC is on the right. I'm going to do the AFC first. All of these teams have been eliminated from playoff contention. Starting with the AFC, the New England Patriots, the LA Chargers, the Tennessee Titans, the New York Jets. Moving over to the NFC, Carolina Panthers, Arizona Cardinals, Washington Commanders, and the New York Giants. All of you have been statistically eliminated from the playoffs, and your team is probably going to stop trying very hard. Probably because you want a better draft pick. It is time for your fans to rest and fantasize about that draft pick that's going to save their franchise. Good luck. Let's start talking about the teams that actually have something to play for. These teams are on the bubble. These teams are outside of the playoffs right now. But if things shake the right way, they can be in there like swimwear. AFC teams on the bubble: Houston Texans, Cincinnati Bengals, Pittsburgh Steelers, Las Vegas Raiders, and the Denver Broncos. Not eliminated, but they did just bench their quarterback. The NFC, Minnesota Vikings, the Green Bay Packers, New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons, and Chicago Bears. Bears. And these top four with the win have a pretty good probability of making the playoffs. If the Texans win, they got a 53% chance to make the playoffs. If the Bengals win, they got a 57% chance to make the playoffs. That's pretty good. It drops down to below 30 from everybody below there, though. Moving over to the NFC, if the Vikings win this week, they have a 48% chance to make the playoffs. If the Packers win this week, they have a 55% chance to make the playoffs. And if any of them lose, the probability gets pretty low. I'm talking like 8 and below for everybody except for the Texans, who would still have a 14% chance. These next teams are in the hunt. If the season ended right now, they'd be in the playoffs. And the Kansas City Chiefs, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Buffalo Bills, and the Indianapolis Colts. Look at that. For the NFC, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Los Angeles Rams, and the Seattle Seahawks. Let's go. The Bucs and the Chiefs, if they win, have a 99% chance to make the playoffs. I like those percentages. Bills are looking pretty locked into making the playoffs too. 90% currently. If they win, 97%. That's pretty pretty good. And for the teams that have already clinched a playoff spot in the AFC, we have the Baltimore Ravens, the Miami Dolphins, Cleveland Browns. Moving over to the NFC, San Francisco 49ers, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Detroit Lions, and the Dallas Cowboys. All of these teams have clinched a playoff spot, so fan bases, you can rejoice. You will see them in the postseason. Where they sit is still up in the air, but they will definitely be there. Let's see if things get shaken up this weekend. I look forward to it. Next up, now that we've gone over the standings, let's pick this week's games. As you can see, I'm 127 and 114 against the spread. Gotta love that little fire logo we got going on there. Cha-ching! The Browns absolutely took care of business against the Jets. I thought this game would be within a touchdown. Clearly, I was wrong. Moving on. Cowboys are 6.5 point favorites. I went with the Lions in this one, mainly because 6.5 points is a lot of points. And the Lions are still a good team. A lot of game left, but as of right now, halftime, they're covering. It could be leading, but that's neither here nor there. It's been a crazy game so far. Next, we got the Bills versus the Patriots. Earlier this season, the Patriots took down the Bills. I don't expect that this match. I think the Bills win this, and I think they win it pretty handily. But it's a division matchup. Bill Belichick has nothing to lose other than a good draft pick. I don't think he's concerned about that. Divisional matchup, 11.5 points is a lot of points. Give me the Patriots. The Bears have been playing better as of late, so I think they can take down the Falcons at home. I'm gonna be honest with you, I think this one's gonna be pretty close, but wishful thinking, being a Bucs fan, I hope the Atlanta Falcons lose. Also, Chicago Bears win. This one's gonna be close though. I just think Justin Fields has been clicking. Raiders at Colts. Colts are 2.5 point favorites. Give me the Colts in this one. I think this one should be close, but Raiders coming off of a big win, Colts coming off of a bad loss. Give me the Colts at home. Rams at Giants. Rams are 6.5 point favorites. Give me the Rams in this one. I like the Rams because they're just the better team. Yes, I think the Tyrod Taylor can keep this close. And to be honest with you, for fantasy purposes, I hope that the Rams don't do well because I'm facing like 3 of them in my finals. But that's how you know they're going off. When they're facing you, they're always going off. So give me the Rams in this one. I just think that they're going to do work. I think that Tyrod is going to be able to keep it close, but at the end, Rams are just going to pull away. Unlike this team, Cardinals at Eagles. Eagles are 12.5 point favorites. That is a big spread. Give me the Cardinals in this one. The Eagles haven't really been blowing people out as of late. Yes, I know the Cardinals are not good, but 12.5 points is a lot of points. Give me the Cardinals as long as Kyler Murray plays. Saints at Buccaneers. Buccaneers are 3.5 point favorites, and I hate to do this because obviously I'm a Bucs fan. Give me the Saints. 3.5 points is too many points for a divisional matchup that's going to help decide who wins the division. This game will be a 3-point game, and my Bucs will win it at the end. And it will be 3 points, not 3.5. But oh, would I love a blowout for the Bucs. Let's go. 49ers at Commanders. 49ers are 13.5 point favorites. Give me the 49ers. They are elite and they got embarrassed. When an elite team gets embarrassed, they bounce back. Washington's gonna have a bad day. The 49ers are coming to play. I wouldn't be surprised if they dropped 40. Panthers at Jaguars. Jaguars are 6.5 point favorites. Give me the Panthers in this one. No Trevor Lawrence. It's gonna be a bit of a problem. Give me the Panthers to cover 6.5. That's a lot of points. Dolphins at Ravens. Ravens are 3.5 point favorites. Some would say the game of the week. How in the world is this not a standalone game? Why are we watching this at 1 o'clock? NFL, tighten up. I wavered back and forth on this one. At the end of the day, that Ravens defense is fierce. I think that they can overtake them. 3.5 is a tricky line, but I'll take it. Give me the Ravens to cover. Titans at Texans. Texans are 3.5 point favorites. Give me the Titans. Again, divisional matchup. The Titans still got some fight in them. I think the Texans win, but I think it's within a field goal. No more. Really toeing the line with this one. Steelers at Seahawks. Seahawks are 3.5 point favorites. This one is really close for me. I'm having a tough time picking it, not gonna lie. Seahawks at home. Yes, the Steelers played well last week against the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati. But playing in Seattle is a different environment. You can't hear anything. The Seahawks are fighting for a playoff spot, as are the Steelers. Oh man, but Mike Tomlin. How you gonna bet against Mike Tomlin? Give me the Seahawks. I think they're a better team, and I think that playing with the 12th man, it's gonna be difficult. Chargers at Broncos. Broncos are 5.5 point favorites. This was where Russell Wilson got benched. Give me the Chargers in this one. Plus 5.5, yes please. I still like that Broncos defense, but man, not having Russell is gonna be strange. Bengals at Chiefs. Chiefs are 7.5 point favorites. Give me the Bengals 7.5 points. Too many points. I low-key hope I'm wrong on this one because the Chiefs really need to bounce back, but 7.5 points is a lot of points. Not gonna be able to do it. Chiefs win, don't cover. Packers at Vikings. Vikings are 2.5 point favorites with a rookie quarterback. Give me the Packers in this one. Jordan Love, you may or may not be starting in my championship matchup. Tighten up. Give me the Packers and the points. But that Vikings defense is pretty good. But I think the Packers are a better team. The Vikings are really banged up. I mean, but so are the Packers. This will be a close matchup. It's a division rivalry with two teams that are fighting for a wild card spot. This should be a good one. So that's gonna do it for my pigskin pick'em, as well as discussing the standings and where we are and what we have to look for the weekend. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below. Good luck in your matchups this week, and I hope your team wins. Unless you're the Saints, because I hope you lose. Go Bucks. I hope you end your day getting one of these. Good luck in your matchups. Peace.